In case you didn't know, this week is Nurses Week. So if you see a nurse out in the wild, run up to him or her and give them a big hug. It doesn't matter if you don't know them. Okay? In fact, if you don't know them, it's all the better. That means they're just like happy that you appreciate their work. Tell them you appreciate their work. If they squirm, just hug harder. All right, let's go ahead and dive right into the news. So the first thing I want to talk about today is Vive. Now, Vive comes from a company who originally developed Siri, who was bought by Apple. Or Siri was, I don't know if the company was, but they're developing a new kind of artificial intelligence system that you could talk to that has a little bit more natural responses than what Siri does. So in this example here, they're basically saying that Vive will have the ability to naturally distinguish like what you're saying and build new responses rather than using pre-built responses like Siri does. So they use this algorithm that would actually say, hey, like if you ask something very specific, they give a question here like, will it be warmer than 70 degrees at the Golden Gate Bridge after 5 p.m. The day after tomorrow? Okay, so this is kind of an abnormal question rather than, what's the temperature outside or what's it going to be like tomorrow. This is very specific. So with Vive, this new system, because of the way it's designed to be kind of an artificial intelligence, it's actually able to respond better than what Siri would. I thought this is kind of cool just because instead of designing something to recognize, something you say and then give you just like a prefab answer, this is actually reprogramming itself on the fly to give you the best possible answers, and it learns from what you tell it and what you ask it. So I thought that was pretty cool. The next thing up is Windows 10 interrupting apparently this really popular game streamer during a game stream to do an install or an update. It's kind of funny because this actually hits home for me, and this is actually a good segue to a different story, but this hits home to me because I absolutely hate it when Windows 10 pretty much just resets whenever the hell it freaking feels like it, so it's annoying as hell. Just like that. Just like that. Just update. Says, you know what? F you. I don't care what you're doing. I'm updating. I'm restarting. Complete bullshit. Speaking of Windows 10, while we're on this topic, like I said, good segue, Windows 10 is going to be soon removing the nagware in Windows 7, Windows Vista, or Game Boy or whatever it's trying to force you to upgrade from. Really soon, July 29th. Is when they're going to stop pushing Windows 10. And the reason why is because Windows 10 is officially going to stop being a free upgrade. So if you actually want Windows 10, I recommend doing the upgrade as soon as you can between now and July 29th and get that just taken care of. You can even do the upgrade, take an image of that, save it if you want to, just kind of reserving your copy, so to speak, and then revert yourself back to Windows 7 if you want to. Probably, I would assume so. But either way, if you want to get Windows 10 for free, then you want to jump on that bandwagon now. So the good news is that they are going to stop popping up and interrupting everybody's daily schedule by trying to force them to do upgrades to other older machines like Windows 7 and Windows 8.1. So, yeah. And this news story is for all three of you out there who use Microsoft Edge. Adblock and Adblock Plus are now available for Microsoft Edge. I know that a lot of you probably don't use it, which is good. Don't use it. It's bad for your health, causes cancer. Remember, we talked about this, but if you do use it, you can now browse just a little bit better on the internet with the use of Adblock and Adblock Plus. Get it. Actually, just get Chrome or Firefox or any other browser. I mean, seriously. This topic is going to be all about The Walking Dead or zombies. This is like such a cliche comment on this article because it's so easy to get into this topic from this article, but basically this company has been approved to run trials to reanimate dead brains. And it's not completely like dead people, it's just dead brains. It's like basically people who their body is still working, whether it's being, kept alive or probably kept alive by, equipment, but they are basically brain dead for whatever reason, whether it's a trauma or just whatever happened, their brain is injured beyond, them being able to survive. So this company was approved for phase 1 trial, where they're basically going, and there's a lot of science stuff in here if you want to read it. I will link that in the description, but they're using stem cells plus peptide extracts, lasers, and nerve stimulators to essentially rebuild the damaged areas of the brain. Now, they're going to be bringing the dead back if this works. They don't think it will. They think this is just phase one, just a simple testing phase. Probably nothing's going to come of it. It's kind of like the building the foundation to this, new treatment. But in the end, if this does work, and they can basically bring people back from the dead, they are saying that it's possible that they won't be the same person. Just because with brain damage, you're going to lose those neurons and those connections that were made in your brain. So if you rebuild those with new, kind of a blank template, then whatever was held in that section of your brain is going to be gone. So I don't know if you're going to be a new person. I guess it all depends on how bad the damage was. But the point is you're not going to be able to get those memories back because they were physically ripped out of your head. The joke is this could turn into something like zombie-like, and we start seeing the dead rise and want to eat other brains and, shit like that. So, in fact, I think this article even said it at the bottom. It said something about Resident Evil or something. So it's really easy to make the zombie joke from this article. Just saying. Now we have robots that are actually performing complex surgery on pigs, which is a good proving ground for this kind of thing because pigs are very similar to humans as far as their internals go. But this robot, up to 60% done by itself, doing surgery on a pig, which is crazy. They had doctors that helped guide it. They said 40% of the time. They had doctors that helped guide them through a few things. In the interview, this guy that was developing it said it was more like a baby that was walking, where they're doing okay, but you think they're about to fall, so you just kind of balance them or something like that. So that's the way he described it. But the point is that he wants to make this robot that is able to either be an assistant to a surgeon or take a lot of the workload off of the surgeon's hands or be guided by the surgeon to complete tasks to make things more efficient or to make things more consistent. Because from what he was saying, what the robot does so far is more is better than a surgeon in certain aspects. For instance, he said that if a patient needed 20 sutures, then a doctor, if they did 20 sutures and got 19 of them right, they considered that successful. Whereas this machine, because of the way it's programmed, it gets all 20 of them right. So there's inconsistency-wise, the robot is better. Obviously, the doctor has a lot more going on than just being able to do a suture or whatever, correctly every time one after another. But it is a developing technology, and I could see some sci-fi thing where, you go into the future, you need a surgery, you just get wheeled into a room, and a bunch of robot hands start dicking on you, and just it's like, done. I don't know. Way in the future, but still, it's a developing possibility just based off of what these guys are doing right here. Pretty cool. And I know you guys have probably heard all about this, so I'm only going to touch base on it just for a little moment. I'm not even going to pretend like I was there because all of your big favorite YouTubers were there to cover the GTX 1080 launch party. I just want to say, holy shit, it is a huge improvement over the 980 series on multiple fronts. Lots of new technology going into the GTX 1080, and I think this is a fascinating release because it's not like a small jump, like 10 or 15%. This is a huge jump. They're talking about the 1070 $300 and some card outperforming the Titan X. That's insane. That's insane. And the power usage is down, the performance is up, the technology is being developed to make better use of the available hardware. This is a huge launch. I know why they went full all out in order to get this thing just hyped up for everybody. There's lots of different technology. If you want to learn more, honestly, I say that you watch like Paul from Paul's Hardware, Kyle from Awesome Sauce Network, Jay from Jay's 2 Cents, or Logan from Tech Syndicate. Watch any of those. They'll give you a lot of information on the different technology that's being used to improve the overall performance of all the games. And the performance is hands down just absolutely mind-blowing. So I definitely recommend checking that out. If you're waiting to upgrade your card, this is almost the card that you should upgrade to. And I say almost because the TI is going to be better. It's probably going to be 6 months, 8 months down the line, or however long, but it's going to be better. And it's going to be substantially better than the regular release. That's what I'm waiting for. Not that I need a new video card, but that's what I'm waiting for is the TI or the TI. TI. I'm going to go with TI. Last on our list is going to be the sample footage, which I will link in the description because I think it is badass. Basically, it's this GoPro 6 camera, like $5,000 rig that they're selling, that they're like sold out on. But you can just go through this, and this is amazing. I mean, you can see some of the flaws, like how they stitch stuff together. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it's amazing how, like, look at this. Somehow they cut out the camera, and all you see is what they're holding here. So I don't know how they did that. That's really interesting. I mean, I'd love to see, like, actually, not that I would understand the technology behind it, but it's an interesting technology nonetheless, where they can just cut this out, stitch it together. You don't even see anything. You don't see any pole or anything holding this. I don't know how they do it. It just looks amazing. I would love to have a camera like this, but for one, I have no idea what I would use it for, and for two, I don't have $5,000 to blow on a camera that I don't have any use for. So all I can do is sit here and admire this. Still pretty cool to go check out. They do a bunch of different things where they show it in different from different viewpoints. They have it stationary. They have it on these guys, you know, carrying it. You know, like I said, you do see some tearing and some stitching randomly, but overall, pretty badass. I definitely recommend watching the video if you're at all curious about the whole 360 video. What I want to see is this in like an HTC Vive situation where I can essentially just look around. I want to know if that's I'm pretty sure it's possible, but I want to watch this with the HTC Vive. By the way, while we're on that subject, great news. I ordered the HTC Vive May the 7th, and I've been waiting patiently for my delivery, or for my order to be processed, my credit card to be charged, and the HTC Vive to be sent out and delivered to me. This morning, I woke up to an email saying that I had a charge from HTC Vive for the HTC Vive, or from HTC for the Vive. So that's awesome news. Right now the website is still showing as processing, so that means they're probably just finalizing that payment, making sure it goes through, you know, bundling it up and sending that shit out. I am just totally stoked for that. So yeah, soon, hopefully, week and a half. I'm hoping. That's it for today, folks. Thank you for watching. I definitely appreciate every single one of you. I love doing it this style. It's more relaxed. It's more natural for me. I know it's boring in the background. I'm going to try to fix that. I don't really know how, but I'm definitely going to try at some point to get that fixed. But follow me on Twitter _BiteMyBits. Like and subscribe below, and have a good day.